Hi guys, something a little bit different today. I'm going to just take you through my little freelance kit that I use when I am off doing makeup. Now, I am not a full-time makeup artist. I only do it as a freelancing thing on occasion. So, but I have been doing it for 20 years. And I have over the years downsized the stuff that I take quite drastically. So you can see here, here's my hands. You can see here that it actually is quite a small amount that I take with me when I do makeup. So I've kind of learned, unless there is a specific theme that they are looking for, I generally just stick with these items here. So I'm going to go through them and just show you what's in this kit, and we will go from there. So I have three pieces that I take with me. I've got my makeup in here, I have my disposables in here, and I have my brush roll. So my brush roll is very well worn, so it doesn't look quite so pretty. This I actually bought. I used to use quite a number of little cases, and I'd take it in like a little overnight bag. But I got this off eBay. It was, I think, $20, something along those lines. And I've managed to get everything I need into this, and it's quite a nice little size for me to travel with. So this is what I take. So I'm just going to go through that now, and I hope you enjoy seeing what I actually take with me. The first thing that we are going to look at is what I take in my little disposables bag. So in here I have my actual disposables. I have a mirror. So this is just a stand-up mirror that I can use if there's no mirrors there for them to look at. And then I have my palette for putting my foundations and mixing on. So they are the two items in there. And then I have my little disposables case. So in here I have my lipstick applicators, my mascara wands, some alcohol wipes that I use for cleaning brushes or sanitizing lipsticks or anything that I might need to do on the spot. And I have some disposable spatulas as well. So that's what I have in that little bag. I also have in here some cotton tips and some cotton buds, as well as a hair clip to push hair back, and a sharpener. So that's what I carry in this little bag. The next thing we're going to look at is my brush roll. So if I undo my brushes, you will see that I have a variety of brushes in here. Now, I always take way too many brushes because you never know what you're going to need. And I must admit, it's the one thing I've downsized pretty much everything else that I use, but I can't seem to downsize my brushes. So I have a variety of different things in here. So I've got my actual spatulas. I prefer using these metal ones. I just wipe them clean when I'm done. I have a couple of concealer sized brushes. I have a little comb brush if I need it for brows, and then just a small concealer applicator brush if I use that to apply anything. Tend not to, but it's there just in case. My most used brushes are my larger blending brushes. So these are my large fluffy blending brushes. Then I get into my smaller, more tapered blending brushes. This one probably belongs in there. Then I've got these. These are my MAC 217s. These are, honestly, if I had to pick my favourite brush in the whole wide world, it would be my MAC 217s. I am not as pleased now that they've gone synthetic, and I know that sounds really bad, but I preferred the natural haired brush, but as you can see it does stain up a little bit. I've had it for a long time, so it is stained. It is clean, but it's stained. I then have my lip brushes, just a few different lip brushes, just in case I want to do some extra definition on the lips and the disposables don't cut it. I then get over here into further of my more of my eye brushes. So I have my small defining brushes. So I've just got some smudger brushes and some tight lining brushes here. These are all from, the smaller eye brushes are from Sigma. They've got a precise eye kit. It's fantastic. This one here are my shader packing brushes. So I have my two natural fibre ones, and then I have a synthetic one if I am using more of a cream based product. I then in here have my pencil brushes and just a smaller blending brush. Then we go on to, again, some more of those smaller blending and shading brushes. Then we starting to get into our eyeliner and eyebrow brushes. So I have a dual-ended eyeliner brush for quite fine eyeliner work. Then I have a couple of angled brushes that I use for brows or liner. And then this then continues down into these guys here, which are more angled brushes. Now some of these I can use for the brows, but then I don't mind, if I'm doing especially a red lip, I like using an angled brush to apply a red lip because it gets that nice crisp line. So these are those ones. I then get into my face brushes. So I've got just a kabuki brush down here. I have a couple, I've got a smaller powder brush, then my larger powder brush. I have if I want to apply something quite softly, I have my loose duo fibre. Then I have my brushes, my more densely packed kabukis for applying foundations or contouring. So this is the F80 and the F84, I believe. These are my two favourite from Sigma. And then this is just a contouring thin lined brush. Then I get on to these ones. So over here I've got more of my bronzer applicating brushes. So they're a little bit loosely packed. So they're better for applying those powders. I then have some highlighting brushes or under eye powder brushes. So these ones are here. And then I tend not to use fan brushes very often, but I have them there just in case when I'm for highlighting or something that shimmery that I'm putting on. Then I have these if I need them. So that is what I have in my brush roll. So you can see there, that's what it looks like. It is one that can be worn around the waist. I don't think I've ever worn it around the waist, but that is my little brush roll. So now we get into the makeup and all the products that I take to in my kit. And as you can see, it is a quite small little case. I'm actually quite proud that I can get everything that I need in here. Don't get me wrong, it's quite densely packed. There's not much breathing room in there, but it's a nice small size to work with. So when we open this up, it looks like this. Now there is a little container here, space here for brushes. I don't have room to put brushes in there, they wouldn't fit. So it just kind of hangs there. So we'll get this side out of the way first. So in this side there is a little zip compartment. And this is where I keep my larger palettes that I take. So just get them out if they want to come out. So these are the larger palettes that I take. I've got the Ciade Pretty Fun and Fearless. This was, I think, a holiday collection with Chloe Morello at some stage. I take this one for those when I'm doing more of a burgundy look. So it has a number of burgundy shades down here and then also some neutrals up there. I like it's a little bit more cool. It has some cooler tones and neutral tones in there, and it's that palette I use for those kinds of looks. This is the best thing. If you are a makeup artist, this is the thing that you want. It is the RCMA makeup foundation. The one that I have is the Vincent Kehoe collection. Okay, on the back you can see there you have a number of different shades. Now this has been designed a lot for Australian skin types. So it generally covers most colours within the Australian tones. You can see here it is a very well loved palette. I have cooler, neutral and warmer colours throughout there, and I can obviously put them onto my palette, mix them. This does need some warming up, so I actually do like to mix it on the palette because it softens up the cream foundation and works really well. I then have my Tarteist Pro Glow. So within this one, obviously we've got our contouring powder or bronzing powder, contouring cream, and then a number of different highlighters for different skin tones. It's a good little travel one. So I tend to try to use kits that have been designed to be compact in my freelance kit, because I don't want to take up as much room. I want as little as possible. So we'll keep going with the palettes that I have. I've got the Revlon Sculpt and Highlight Contour Kit. Okay, so this has the banana powder, a sculpting powder, bronzing powder, and another highlight. So I have that one. I have my Tartelette Toasted palette. This one is for warmer looks. Okay, so it has obviously those warmer orange, bronzy, goldy colours within it. I have my Tartelette in Bloom palette. So this is my classic neutral palette. Okay, this is probably my most used one. Fantastic. I recommend this to anyone. It's a great all-rounder palette. And then I have one of the Tarte blush books. So let's see if I can get it open. So this is all I take for blush. It has a variety of different colours within it. As you can see, there are a couple of highlighters again. I find that this is all I need. Okay. Then we'll start pulling out things with random. So I've got a makeup remover. Now you'll see that most of the things that I use are ones that are being designed for travel. Okay, I don't need to take a huge bottle of something along when a small bottle will do the trick. And I was even using a smaller Lancome one, but I've run out and it was only about that size, so it was good. I've got a traveller size of the Urban Decay All Nighter. That is just what I set most of my clients with. I have a little Hourglass ambient light setting powder, strobe light. So this is the incandescent strobe light. I just use this as if I want to put a bit of a shimmer all over the face, lighten up the face. That's a nice little finishing powder. That was the word I was looking for. I then have my RCMA concealer palette. Okay, so this is the concealer palette that I use. Within that, I have a variety of different tones, going from the peachier tone all the way down to a pale tone. And then I have my correcting colours if I need them. I then have this is my essential. It is just a little travel of the isopropyl alcohol. I just refill it because this actual on itself is really expensive, so I just get the big bottle and refill it. But this is how I spray my concealer, foundation, my powders, all of that with this after and before use so that it's sanitized. I then have a variety of sponges. So I've just got a bunch of sponges. I've got the Real Technique sponge. These ones are from OXX from Kmart. They're brilliant. And they're like $3. And I also have some smaller little concealing sponges. So again, they're from Real Techniques. So they are the sponges I take with me. I then have a couple of puffs. This one here I usually put on my finger when I'm working on a client so that I'm not smearing the makeup as I go along. And this is if I want to apply some bake. Okay, I then have a little MAC Prep and Prime. Again, I would refill this and keep using it. It's just the size that I need. I used to take a few lipsticks along, but recently I got the Jeremy Scott collection with MAC, mainly for the packaging, and in fact totally for the packaging. But I have a ridiculous amount of lipsticks, but what I have found is this is perfect for my kit because it has all the colours I need for my work, from nudes to colours, and I can reds, and I can also then mix and match to make the colour that I'm after. So this was, whilst I bought it for nostalgic purposes, it has ended up being a nice little addition to my kit, and it looks fancy when I bring it out. Okay, then I go on and I have the essentials. I have a MAC paint pot in soft ochre for an eye primer. I've got the MAC Black Track fluid line. I would say this would have to be one of the best gel liners I've ever used. I then have a cream eyeliner pencil. So this one's from Ben Nye. I have carbon black because none of the palettes that I have has a black eyeshadow, and a black eyeshadow is a necessity. I have another sharpener. I have waterproof mascara. I tend not to take anything other than waterproof because generally you're obviously doing weddings and things like that. So for those special occasions I use a waterproof mascara. So that one's obviously the Tarte Light Cameras Lashes one, or Splashes because it's waterproof. That's what I've got at the moment. I have my Too Faced glitter glue if I want to put an intense shimmer on the lid. I have just a clear gloss if I want to turn any of my lipsticks into a glossy lip. I'm not taking a million colours, so this is, and it's also a sealer, so it's from Lancome. Then I get into my pencils. So I don't take many lip liners. I take a basic nude pink. I take a red. And I take a bit of a brownie one if I want to like contour the shape of the lips. So those are my three lip liners. And then when it comes to eyeliners, I have a black. It's the Urban Decay Perversion. I've got MAC Teddy for a brown. And then I take a black liquid liner. In here I have just depotted some Laura Mercier translucent powder, mainly because I don't want to take a huge big thing of powder because I'm not going to use it, so I have that there. I then go into starting to look at my primers. I take a hydrating primer and a mattifying primer. So again, these are travel size ones. I think they're fantastic. I'm always getting samples from Mecca and different things because they're perfect for my kit size. I then have a bunch of different concealers. So I have the Maybelline Fit Me and the Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser. These are generally better on older clients. They're not as drying on the skin. And then I have some Colourpop shadows. So this is for younger skin and also if I want to do a cut crease. So I've just got, I think it's 10 and 20. So they're my two lighter concealers. I keep the silicone packet in there just because that's good. Then I get into the brows. So for something so small on the face, it probably takes up a fair chunk of my, I think so, brows and lashes. So I have a clear brow mascara, tweezers, essential, eyelash curler, scissors, false lash, tweezer applicators. I have a eyeliner eyebrow palette that I can use for a variety of things. So it's a dark brown and a lighter brown. I can use that for brows as well as using a bit of Fix Plus, and I can make a liner out of that if I need to, a brown liner. I then have two of the NYX eyebrow powders, one in blonde, one in brunette. Then have a brow pomade, just a normal taupe colour that I generally find that is sufficient for most eyebrows if I need to cut them out. Although I find that most clients, unless they're really young, aren't after that super defined brow anyway. It's not something that they're comfortable with, so that's more for if I need to build a lash. I then have some different lashes. Again, I try not to go anything too crazy with the lashes unless I know beforehand that they want intense lashes. I actually keep them quite natural. So I have a variety of different false lashes there if I need to. And then again, I use my and some lash glue. So I've got a black lash glue and a clear lash glue. Normally I have the duo. I prefer the duo, but I've run out and these are in my drawers, so I figured I might as well use them up before I get a new duo. And the last things I have is I have a small goof-proof brow pencil. This is in 3, which is their, I guess, their mid-range one, and it ends up working for the majority of brows. And then I have 2 brow mascaras in obviously a blonder colour and a brunette colour. I think that I have in my kit. If I have room and I know what skin colour my clients are, I will put in the Australis Fresh and Flawless pressed powder as well. It's something I do occasionally if I can fit it in. And I'll probably, when I put this back in, I will put those in there as well because there was a little bit of room here, so there'll be enough room to stack it. Again, so throwing it all packed back up. So I've managed to get it all back in there so you can see, and I've added those pressed powders, just showing you that it all fits. Like I said, it's jammed in there, but it definitely fits. I can close the zip. And there we go. We'll do a little finger dance. I hope you enjoyed just seeing what I use. It might be helpful. It just shows that you don't actually have to take everything to get a wide variety of looks and suit a wide variety of skin tones and clients. So if you pack well and buy well, you don't have to take a huge amount. So thanks for checking in. Please subscribe, like the video, that would be great. Comment down below if there's anything else that you would like me to go through and probably elaborate on. I'm more than happy to do that. As always, remember, be kind, be strong, and be a warrior. And I'll see you later. Bye.